Welcome to the Social Geeks podcast, socialgeeks.com.au. Sign up for your own free website now and download and watch free guides, courses and videos to help your business thrive online.
Hi there and welcome to the Social Geeks podcast. My name is Kyle. I am your host. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about self-promotion, something that I know for a fact every entrepreneur that I know seems to be pretty uncomfortable with. We're going to talk about the main reasons why this is the case and maybe explore some kind of hacks of how we can tackle this and keep ourselves accountable or each other accountable to getting our amazing businesses out there further. So I know from personal experience that one of the main blocks to a lot of people in getting comfortable and putting themselves out there, talking about their services and products and things like that is a common known syndrome called imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is when you feel like you're not the right person to talk about something, or that people will call you out to say that you're a fake, you're a phony, you don't know what you're talking about, and you should shut up. So imposter syndrome is not a nice feeling, but sadly it is something that we are all too familiar with as business owners. I think that a lot of people feel very shy about jumping in front of a camera like this. I'm terrified of it, to be honest, and talking about something that they should be comfortable in talking about. I think imposter syndrome is the one main thing that blocks a lot of entrepreneurs from actually putting themselves out there and being able to sell their services and products sufficiently. So how do we tackle things like imposter syndrome? Well, I think it's pretty straightforward in terms of the fact that you're probably never going to feel like you're 100% ready for anything. I have there's a great saying that I don't know who said, but that the best things in life are just beyond fear, just that step beyond fear. And I think that if you're not scared, you're not growing. You need to push yourself out there. You need to do the things that might feel uncomfortable in order to grow. I think that doing a podcast and doing videos for me is incredibly uncomfortable. I like to think that I'm a pretty outgoing and extroverted guy, but as soon as that red light turns on, I'm like, this is terrifying. Why am I doing this? This is stupid. I don't know what I'm going to say. And the only thing that you can do is just do it and practice and keep trying to do more and more of that stuff that you know you need to do. I run a digital agency, Social Geeks, obviously, and it's been one of those things where over the last 5 years, I've been like, man, I need to do more video. I need to put myself out there more. I need to feel more comfortable doing the podcast and things like that. And because of imposter syndrome, I have sat back and not done that for years now. And I'm looking at it now in 2021 going, Why am I not doing it? It's such a simple thing, I just need to do it. Just need to literally sit down and start recording stuff and just talking about the topics that are interesting to me and that I think that my audience would like to hear about. And I think that this episode hopefully is kind of me keeping myself accountable to the fact that you've just got to do it. Otherwise, you're never going to. You can think and think and think about it and plan and plan and plan and just never do because you're scared of people calling you out or people, I don't know, just being mean, I think at the end of the day, you just got to say screw the haters and use those voices as fuel. If people think that you're not going to succeed, if you think that people think that, that's on you. Until somebody actually does say something like that, you don't know that people are going to love or hate your stuff. And if people love or hate it, doesn't matter, man. Like, you just got to create and put things out there. I think number 2 as well is that a lot of us will hold ourselves back because we feel like we don't have time. And I think that the way that you need to counteract that is by making time for the things that you know you need to do. For example, I block a lot of my work so that on Mondays I have team meetings with my agency staff. We go through the projects we're working on, the clients, the results, things like that. We talk about anything that needs to be done in the week, and we set our goals for the week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are my client meeting days and sales calls. So in the morning I take sales calls. In the afternoon I talk to clients and talk about monthly sessions, new campaigns, etc. And then on Friday I try to block out a full day so that I can focus on projects, catch-up work, and creating content, like sitting down like today and talking to my audience, and recording podcasts, recording videos, things like that. I think that it's super important that the things that we know we need to do, that we might be scared to do, we put it into our calendars and we hold ourselves accountable. That time is sacred time that we have to use to be productive, to be creating that content and actually putting ourselves out there. I think number 3 as well is that we feel, number three in terms of not putting ourselves out there, not selling ourselves, is that we feel like we might be just adding to the noise, that there's so many other people out there doing what we do, and it doesn't really matter if little old me is coming out here and being like, hey, I can help you with Facebook ads, or I can help you with your website. It's like, I'm one of millions of people who can do that in this day and age. But what makes you different is that it's you, that you have a voice that nobody else has. You have a whole set of life experiences that nobody else has. And you are the right mix of human to be a unique voice in that chorus of other people, you know? And I think that it's very important to remember that you are the only person who can put a voice to what it is that you're thinking and the types of experiences that you had, and people will relate to that. I think that this will sound really stupid maybe, but for me, a lot of the big blocks that I've had is like, especially with the culture right now, I'm like, man, I'm just a white guy with so much privilege, in my life. I've been able to just not cruise through life, but anything that I've done, I've had a level of success to, and I know that that's because there's an underlying system that's really propping me up. And I feel like if I start talking about stuff, I feel like, dude, like you are so fucking lucky, like shut the hell up. You've got no right to talk about this stuff because there's so many people who are not as fortunate and might be struggling through their journeys. And I'm worried about my message being not condescending, but maybe misogynistic or whatever it is. And that's maybe just a strange thing in my head that I'm kind of repeating or a weird fear that I have. But the thing is like, I've still got a message that I want to share. I'm still a type of guy that wants to help people. I'm still the type of person that would like to see other people thrive. And if through my life experiences I can share my journey and share some of the things that I've learned, maybe that can help just one person out there in their journey unlock a better life, or be able to grow their business, or just kind of see things from a new perspective. So I think that rather than feeling like I'm just one tiny little voice in a massive chorus of billions of people out there, it's more like I am me with my own perspectives on life, and I'm unique, and I want to make sure that I'm capturing my thoughts and my wisdom, my experience, and sharing that with the people who might benefit from it. I can't control anything past the point of me putting it out there and seeing how people react, but it's worth doing. And I think that another way to also make it feel like you're not just one in a sea of billions is that you're capturing your legacy right now. You are the person who, if you're planning to have kids or if you're not, doesn't really matter. But if people look back on your life in 100 years, how are they going to know what you were interested in? How are they going to know who you were and the type of person that you were? You are in control right now of how that future generation will look back and see who you were and what you were all about. And I think that if we document that, we jump in front of a camera, we start recording ourselves and trying to put ourselves out there to make the world a better place, to try to help other people, to try to show people love and that we care, all of those things, it's just a great legacy that you can leave behind for future generations. So rather than seeing it as like, oh my God, what am I going to say and what am I going to talk about and who cares about my voice, it's more like, well, no, I have something that I want to say, and I want to make sure that I am documenting that for future generations to look back and go, wow, this guy Kyle in the 31st of January, whatever, 2021, what an interesting time to be alive. What an interesting perspective to have at a time where there was a crazy pandemic and half the world were in lockdown and there was so much going on. I think that it's just a good way to kind of break that paradigm or break that perspective that might be holding you back from putting yourselves out there as business owners. It's kind of looking at it as a big picture. I'm just documenting my legacy. That's all. And I hope that helps in terms of your perspective as well in selling yourself or just putting yourself out there. So I think that we talked a lot about, why we might have some blocks as business owners and putting ourselves out there. I hope that this helps in terms of finding better ways to kind of put yourself out there. I would love to keep you accountable, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm putting out more content in 2021 and getting that little voice inside my head to kind of shut up a bit and not be so critical about what I am doing and that feeling of imposter syndrome, being like, no, I've been doing this for years and years and years now, and I've got so many good case studies. I know what I'm talking about. I am going to share that with my audience. I'm going to share that with whoever wants to listen to it and learn from that, and I'm going to feel confident about doing that because I'm recording my legacy. So I hope that that is something that you can join me on, and I will happily keep you accountable to that. If you want to jump into our Facebook group, I think it's Social Geeks Facebook group, you can jump in there and just say, I want to be held accountable. I want to start putting myself out there. I want to start documenting my legacy. And I very much recommend that you start doing videos and podcasts to try to get that long form content that you can share to your audience about things that you're passionate about too. So thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope that this was helpful to somebody out there. I think that, your mental health and the way that you look at yourself, it controls everything. And I think that if you're trying to sell your own services, your own products, that you really need to look internally as to why you might feel certain ways, so that you can learn and you can grow and push yourself beyond those things that you're scared of, because that is where you will find the most personal growth. So thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Social Geeks podcast. Signed up for a free website yet? Head over to socialgeeks.com.au and sign up today. While there, why not look at all the free courses, guides and videos to help you and your company succeed online? socialgeeks.com.au